Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Have Faith, Let It Begin pre-show edition. Why is it a pre-show? Oh, I can't even speak today. Why is it a pre-show? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm actually on time. That we're on the air a little early. Again, this is a pre-show. We officially do start at 7:30 a.m. But again, just an opportunity for everybody to get together and sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of what's to come, I should say. We hope that each and every one of you are prepared, ready, willing, and able to listen to our show. And I'm just getting an update here. Okay, we're good. Yep, everything looks good. And the notifications have officially gone out. That's my key. Folks, just want to remind you a couple things we're going to talk about this morning. We want to make sure that you are aware that you are always available to reach out to me personally, Angel at HaveFaithLetItBegin.com. Don't forget that we are available also on our our like page, Have Faith Let It Begin like page. Yes, that's a way we can get a hold of us. You also have an opportunity to take a look at our website. On our website, when you're scrolling down, you hear about the story, our mission statement. You also can select a couple of podcasts from there. And if you scroll down even further, you will see that they'll take you right to our YouTube channel, Have Faith Let It Begin. And on that YouTube channel, you have an opportunity to see a couple of live sermons that I took video of. The video is not the greatest because I didn't have anybody to actually record me, so I had it on a tripod, and I did the best I could to make sure that it recorded to the best of the ability. But also, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, at the website we're at, www.havefaithletitbegin.com, at the very bottom there is a prayer request form. You can actually send a prayer request. It goes directly to my cell phone. So no matter where I'm at, and no matter what time of day it is or night, I can take care of that and make sure, by all means, that we pray for you and your needs. We have a Twitter account as well, at HaveFaithLIB. So if you're having a chance, take a look at our Twitter account. And here's the key thing. We're starting to grow. We're growing faster and faster each day. We are still at about 30,000, and that's amazing, because my goal was only to change one person's life. And the fact that 30,000 people have joined on our show and are subscribing and listening, it's an honor. It's a blessing. One of the things that will keep us standing out is if you like our episodes. So if there's an episode you like, hit like. If you have a comment, make a comment. If you have an iPhone, there is a like button or a 5-star ratings. Rate us. And if you go to google.com and you type in Have Faith Let It Begin, Google Podcast also has a rating as well. Rate us. And I want you to be honest, because we take the feedback seriously. If you thought an episode was a 1, give us a 1. If you thought the episode was outstanding, give us a 5. If you think it's medium, 3. And by all means, if you have any ideas of any future shows, feel free to let us know. You can even email me directly, Angel at HaveFaithLetItBegin.com. I do all my best to listen to all the feedback, because it's important. That's the only way we're going to grow, is by learning from each other and knowing that feedback is a good thing. It's not a negative thing. So that's pretty much it. All right, we're closing in at 7:28 in the morning. We're about to go live at 7:30 a.m. We're about a minute and a half away. Let me give a couple more shout-outs to Javier. We want to give a shout-outs, of course, to Chip. I heard he's feeling better. I did get your voicemail, man. We're playing some serious phone tag. I will definitely reach out to you either today or tomorrow. We're going to be doing a 3-part series starting today, part 1 of 3. It's a Valentine stories. So if you have any stories that you'd like to share with us, Valentine's Day stories, feel free to just let us know, and we'd be more than happy to share those stories if you are okay with that. All right, so again, we're closing in at 7:30. This is Have Faith, Let It Begin, and the show starts in 10 seconds. Are you ready? I know I am.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
10 seconds to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Don't you see that you're
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
On June 16th, 2018, a show designed for you, the Daily Commuter, went live.
Well, folks, dreams do come true. This is Have Faith, Let It Begin, and this is our first episode.
A weekly show all about faith.
Every day, we're going to battle storms. We're going to face challenges. But we have to remember that we're not going to do it alone. We have to have faith.
A show with motivational topics.
As you go into work today, don't allow anyone to steal your joy. Lift your head up high and know that God is with you.
Inspirational stories and personal testimony set out to change the world.
My wife and I are expecting our first child. I'm going to be a father.
Welcome to Have Faith. Let it begin. Here's your host, Angel Santana.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Broadcasting live worldwide.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Have Faith, Let It Begin. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. Folks, we are 3 days away from Valentine's Day. So, in honor of that, this will be a three-part series. This is part one of the Valentine's Day story. Let's begin. Folks, when I was in my 20s, I struggled with many types of relationships. I couldn't figure out why it is that I couldn't hold a date. And many of you know my stories. They're pretty funny. There's many stories where, we thought, well, this would be kind of funny to air, indicating all the different types of dates that I had gone on that just went sour, that went ballistic, that went crazy. If you haven't had a chance to listen to those episodes, I encourage that you check them out. I'm going to share another Valentine's Day story with you, and it's got a pretty good ending, so let's just get right into it. During a Valentine's Day week, kind of like we're in right now, I was single, and this is in the early 2000s, and I didn't have any opportunities that came my way. Well, it just so happened that one time, a friend of a friend recommended a person. We met at a TGIF Fridays because I was a server there part-time, and we started talking. We talked in person. We felt like we had a little small connection, and believe it or not, the young lady asked me out. So it was a huge advantage and a switch for me because I, at that point, had been stood up and so many things had happened, and I was always the one that engaged the conversation, and I was always the one that asked the person out. In this case, I felt as if I had made a turn because the young lady had asked me out on a date. So I thought that was kind of cool. So we got to talking, we set up a time, and ironically, it was kind of around this time. I think it was about 2 or 3 days from Valentine's Day. We decided not to go out on Valentine's Day because we didn't think it would be appropriate to do our first date on Valentine's Day. Don't ask me why, but I think a lot of it was we both were reading into it too much. We were thinking, well, we're not a couple. Couples go out on Valentine's Day, whatever. So we figured 3 days before, 2 days before, something around that time, and we got things in order. We set up the date that we would actually go to a restaurant and then followed by a movie or rent a movie because back then Blockbuster was still around. Well, we got everything all set up. The day came. I got myself a nice little outfit, and I was excited. Very excited. If I could do the dance, from Risky Business, from Tom Cruise, in my apartment that was so tiny, I probably would have. That's how excited I was. I got it. I made sure I had everything I needed. I made sure I called her about an hour and a half before to confirm. I actually made sure that we had our reservations, and everything looked really good. We decided to go Dutch, and in that situation, we didn't have either one of us pick each other up. We decided to meet each other at the restaurant. So I arrived about 25 minutes early because I was afraid that it would be very busy, and I wanted to make sure we got our table. Even though we had reservations, you know how things go, they can be delayed. So I got there at first, and I got our table. It just so happened that the waitress, or server, I should say now, that served me or got me to my table and introduced herself was somebody that I knew. See, by day I was a manager, and I ran a call center, as many of you knew, and she was actually one of my employees. So I found out that she worked at night at this restaurant, but by day she worked for me. So I also felt like I was in a even more good company, because I actually, appreciated this person. She's a very good employee, and it just felt like all the stars were lining up, because, now I have a server that I know she won't spit in our food, and everything was looking good. So, about 15 minutes after the time that we said we would meet, which was 7:30, which is around 7:45, I noticed that she had not arrived. I got a little concerned, mainly because I had been stood up before, and just when I really thought that I was about to be stood up again, I noticed that she had just walked in. When she walked in, she looked like she was a little frustrated. She looked a little concerned. I greeted her at the door as I saw her walk in, and she apologized for being late. We went to our table and later discussed with her that, what was her concern and her issues, and she said that she had just been running late. Her other job kept her, and things just didn't make any sense, and just didn't fall into place like it did for me. So I told her not to worry. We ordered an appetizer. We started eating. During the course of our meal, I noticed that she was very distracted. It wasn't the same girl that I was speaking to throughout the week, or especially the first time I met her. And it kind of concerned me. So I really did everything in my power to try to speak with her and say, hey, talk to me, it's okay, you can tell me anything, that's the point of this dinner, is to get to know one another. I can tell you a little bit about myself. And finally, as we got closer to the end of our meal, she didn't want to have dessert. And she started to cry. I found out that she was in the middle of a divorce. And it crushed me, because she had told me that she was single. She was in the middle of a divorce, and she felt as if she was cheating on her husband. And she felt that she had made the decision too fast. I told her that it was okay, that despite how she was feeling, and, regardless of everything that had happened, I told her that she was one of my favorite dates that I'd ever had, which was true. I made her smile, and the date concluded. I walked her to the car, kissed her on the cheek, and I encouraged her to call her husband back. I told her that if you're feeling this way, that maybe you still love him, and maybe he feels the same way too. So I prayed with her and told her, listen, you really should reach out to him. Don't give up. I don't think it's over. As I was getting in my car, I'm not going to lie to you, I was disappointed. I was a little upset. I even began to cry. I felt as if I was cheated out of a good, perfect week. I felt that my luck was never going to turn. What the girl didn't know is that in the back seat of my car, I had a long stem rose. I wanted to give her that. It was a white rose, for the record. I didn't feel comfortable getting her a red rose. It was a white stem rose that I wanted to give her at the end of our date, assuming the date would go well. As I was going home, I didn't want to go home because it was kind of an early night. I decided to go to the video store, and I rented a movie. Of course, when you're depressed, you try to find a comedy. And there were no comedies available. So, I ended up renting a Nightmare on Elm Street horror flick, thinking that maybe a horror flick would just distract me from the pain I was feeling. As I was driving home, I noticed that I needed gasoline. I remembered that I needed milk. I went into the Cumberland Farms after I pumped, to prepay for my gas. I picked up the milk, and I noticed that one of the girls at the register, because there were two, looked like she had been crying. She had mascara kind of smeared on one of her eyes. I asked her if she was okay. She told me that her boyfriend had stood her up for Valentine's, and that he was breaking up with her on Valentine's Day week. I kind of smirked a little and said, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I just want you to know, I just got the worst ending to a great date. She didn't believe me, and I told her it was okay. I went back to the car. I grabbed the white long stem rose. I walked back into the Cumberland Farms. I laid that on the counter and said, "This is for you. I know it was originally meant for my date, but maybe it was actually meant to cheer you up." And that's what I did. To conclude the story, many years later, I ran into the date, and she hugged me in a mall. She shared with me that night, she went back to her husband's house, and they rekindled the marriage. They never got divorced. God is good. Folks, as we get ready for Valentine's Day, we have to remember that not all of us may have a Valentine, but all of us have a heart. All of us have a gift. And if our gift is to allow people to smile, if our gift is to do all that we can to put a smile on other people's faces, then that's what we should do. We should always remember that it's not always about us, but it's always about showing the love and compassion to each and every person all across the world. And that's why on this show, we ask that you do one random act of kindness, because you don't know if that one random act can help change the world. I hope you enjoyed today's story, and get ready for part 2 of another Valentine's Day story. For all of those out there, may God bless you, and may you all enjoy the rest of your day. Have faith. Let it begin.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. That's right, Ariel. We're done with another show. And it's always great to have this show with you, my love. You know, we're going to encourage each and every person to listen to our show every single weekday. That's right, you and I are going to help change the world. Do you think that you can do that for me? Huh? Yeah, you know you can. She does. We want to let you know, and yes, we encourage you to listen to our show each and every weekday, and it's going to be live at 7:30. Make sure you're subscribed to our show. Make sure you get ready, fasten those seatbelts, because Ariel and I and my family are going to bring you a new topic, a new story each and every day, right? Isn't that right, Ariel? Yeah. And she's smiling at me. Guys, enjoy your day.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.